Hi Cam, I'm splitting braces for your new guitar. You might say that's an awfully big throw to split out of this little piece of wood here, but I find that if you have a big wide blade, then it really pulls the wood apart to cleave it down, as opposed to a smaller one running the risk of cutting with the grain. So it's pretty straight, so I'm going to take a little more than 1/4 inch. See how nicely that splits? We just cleave it off. The purpose of that is so we get it along the grain, so there's no grain run out. So I've got a sheared off face here. So then, once I have the brace material split, I put my little dog in my bench here. I got these, dog holes for my tail vise, and I have one of them that I've kind of custom shaved down to where I can get real low with it. And I take my block plane, sharpened and tuned, and set it a little aggressive, and then I just start thinning the brace out. I do 1/2 at a time so I can hold it with my hand. So then I take the brace down to a 1/2 inch high. I've marked it here where I can see it, scribed the line. I'm going to radius the bottom of this brace on a 28-foot radius. I have a brace that I did one time. I kept it as a template, and eventually once I get this all right, then I take it over into the radius dish that I'm clamping with, and I just finish it off with a little sandpaper, but majority I do with the block plane. And go ahead and start at the end. Cutting good, a little aggressive. I might have to just touch it back a little bit. I got this adjustable throat on this Bailey style block plane. So I'm taking a little and I'm moving toward the middle. So I'm a little more aggressive on the end there. I want to try to make sure I'm square. Moving toward the middle. So, yeah, and that's actually just perfect. So I'll just kind of snuggle that up on the radius plate, and then this will be one of the braces. I'll also, I'll shape it a little bit. These braces don't get much shape on this one. They just kind of get the top a little bit rounded off. Okay, so I take a piece of sandpaper and put it on this 28-foot radius. Kind of do it about where it's going to go. Yeah, that's the right side. Try to keep it perpendicular. A little bit of latitude on that allowed. Want it to be consistent all the way down so I get a good bond. Put it into place, and then I got a nice brace here. Now it doesn't have to match exactly because it's going to be pressured down into that thing, but I just make it match exactly anyway, just because I might as well. I've come this far. But the thing that is really critical is that it be 90 degrees and stand up straight. So you can see, I'll try to... So you can see if you get right in there, is like exactly as close as you want to be. Just with no pressure, it just aligns perfectly with the radius of the dish. So that's what we want. And then... Okay, so the way that I scallop the ends of the brace so it can intersect the other brace with tucked underneath it is first I've relieved out the place where those braces are going to intersect with a 45-degree little female wedge, and then here on the brace I just take my sharp chisel, put it in my vise, just make it real sharp so it cuts easy. Take it down to about a 1/16 of an inch ish. Not much more, not any less. And then I take it out and take a little piece of 80 grit sandpaper, put it at the exact angle of intersection, and put about a 45-degree wedge on there. With just a little flat spot, not much. So there's the first brace. Very, very light pressure. We start with that middle fiberglass rod holding it down with extremely light pressure so it doesn't move. And then I put one going the opposite way with, very light pressure too, and then I put the third one over on the side with light pressure, and I increased the pressure just a little bit just to make sure I got squeeze out all over, but I want to leave some glue in the joint too. There's the second brace, placed critically. Got to make sure to clean out all that squeeze out for a couple reasons. Mainly, if there's ever future repairs to be done, they need to be able to see what's going on with that joint. So you can see it fits perfectly, and the placement of those reliefs are critical. So I'm going to clean up that glue joint here. I'm holding the camera with one hand so I can't do too much, but I basically just scrape it out and kind of wipe it with some alcohol. Next we do our little sound hole reinforcement. It's about a 1/16 of an inch thick, and rather than spread the pressure with a radiused caul, I just use very light pressure with 3 rods. Okay, now we're getting quite a framework of rods in there. We've got both of the sound hole reinforcements in, and we've got all the top bracing in. So I just need to do the 2 long braces and then the small cross brace in the middle. Okay, when I'm doing these long braces, see I put a little dab of glue on the end there where I'm going to tuck that underneath, and I got like a nice little medium spread. Make sure I got enough glue, but not too much. Just a kind of a medium spread there, not a heavy spread and not a light spread. And then I got that little dollop right on that little guy. I can see that on the camera. Alright, so it's critical that we have the right angle there as that snuggles in. And then this long brace goes 1/32 about from the bridge plate. You see that? So what happens is, yeah, it's just right. So if that bridge plate ever needs to be removed, then it's got, let me get in there so I can see, there's a small gap. And then I've got my relief here. I got enough room for that brace to come in. So it all fits together just right. I got my little space on the bridge plate, and the bridge plate is precisely located. Then when I install this brace, move it around a little bit, make sure there's glue everywhere. Get squeeze out once I'm located, because that's a very precise location on this one. And then my first action is to wedge that little spot in place. light pressure, not very much, but light. But I got a mechanical joint there, which is glued. And then this guy, very light pressure. Then I come up here, and that's really probably all I need. See, I can't do it. I don't have room, but that's no problem. I just come back this way. I'm already wedged in there. I don't want this thing to slip because I want to maintain that little spot, little space between the bridge plate and the long brace. There we go. Light pressure, squeeze out everywhere, clean it up. So I did the same thing with the other long brace. And now I'm putting the little cross brace in, and this one is critical because it runs right alongside the tail block, and it's very important to me that that all goes smooth at the end. That's kind of like my test. One of the ways that I make sure everything is lined up perfect is when that falls right into place, I know I've done a good job. So same thing, I put the nice medium spread of glue. A little rag here with alcohol on it. Kind of take a little of that excess off the wedge. Because I'm wedging this one too. Hopefully this one never comes out because it's a little awkward to reach this one through the sound hole. So I got that at the precise angle right up against the bridge plate. And then I put this at my precise place. You have to be careful when you start getting this many rods too, because it starts to make a lot of pressure on the top. And when I'm on this top of this go-bar press, and it pushes it up. And when you have all these very lightly braced, light pressure everywhere, when you push that top up a little bit, they can all come crashing down. So you can't, just like that. That shows you how light the pressure is. It's just any change in the pressure of the total top. And there's the whole thing braced. It's going to sit in those clamps. I'm going to go up and see my family. I'm going to clean up this mess a little bit and then go see my family, and we'll have another exciting work day tomorrow.